This is a tight read. This is a good read. Y'all should check it out, y'all.
Jonathan Lee Riches, a.k.a. JLR. Dog the Bounty Hunter and his team are currently in Moab, Utah right now, looking into the unsolved murder of Kylan Schulte, Crystal Turner.
How'd you do that, JLR?
Remember those names.
Jesus. Fucking tree.
Kylan Schulte.
Oh, bless.
Crystal Turner.
Shannon, get over here and trim this fucking tree.
They were murdered around August 14th.
This shit is foul. Watch. Oh my God.
Are you okay? What happened to all the pens?
Jonathan Lee Riches.
What happened to the pens?
And recently, I had a female that was staying and living with me. And she left. And this morning,
I think we all know why she left.
I went into my dresser to clean it out.
Oh, God. Fuck, here we go. Oh, no.
And you will not believe what I found.
He's telling you the truth. You will not believe what he found. Wait.
Here,
Not the glove.
you put some gloves on here. I got some gloves.
Looking at.
You will not believe what I found inside my dresser. But if you look closely, these are a pair of panties. Look.
Look. That fool wiped his butt with her underwear looking ass.
What is that?
That's because his broke ass didn't have no toilet paper.
That looks like shit stains or something
Looks like it's your shit stains.
on these panties. Absolutely disgusting. Whoever wore these panties
Don't say whoever, fool. That was your girlfriend looking ass.
did not
Wait a minute. Intel's coming in. Correction. Those are his panties.
clean themselves up. They must be very, very dirty.
And you let them live in your house?
Absolutely
Great web sleuth in there, bud.
disgusting. And I will leave this. And just remember.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How you doing? You know that roses really do smell like poo-poo. Looking ass. Thank you for joining us. I have a special guest in the house, and it is Picasso Chad. Picasso Chad popped up on the radar over on Twitter. Well, I call it the Twitter. It's the X. He also has a channel here, and we will, if we can get somebody to link that here, it would be much appreciative. Chad, how you doing, sir?
Ben, I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight, Benny?
Man, I think that every day that I don't have to talk about JLR is a beautiful day. But such as it is, here we are. Chad and I have been talking. How Miss Flossie, how's the sound, baby? You sound good. I just can't hear me without turning, and I hate all that echo. I got a bunch going here. We are studioed up. Creatively inspired. Yes, that is, in fact, AI. He was sniffing dirty panties before AI was even a thing, right? Okay, thank you, ladies. Let's go ahead and do a roll call really quick. It's something I like to do, Chad. Let everybody kind of file in. Kitty Hawk, what's up, baby? Lila, good to see you. There's Picasso. Casey K, yeah, Mom, Dutchy Girl, Creatively Inspired, Kelly Palmer, Val Ventura, what's up, baby? Tanga, what's up, baby? Shuri, how you doing, baby? Go Getter. Who else we got? Flossie, Flosserson. It's a shitty situation. It sure is. Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy? Rappers in the house. Tina, always good to see you. Tina with the Pina. Not a drama, not a good to see you, baby. And everybody else. So, I goo baby. I hope I didn't butcher that. So, tell me about yourself, Chad. Tell them like they don't know you, like I know you, buddy.
Well, let's see. I live in Minnesota. I drive a wrecker for a living, which that has a lot to do with this story because that's one thing that he did was called my work. But yeah, so I live in Minnesota, drive a wrecker. I used to live in Indiana for a while. I'm originally from here. And I moved back because my dad's 80, and I'm just back here to take care of him. And that's just a quick rundown of me, anyway.
Well, you're doing the Lord's work. I'm kind of doing something like that too. My folks are getting older, and they decided they wanted to purchase a huge Victorian home, and such as it is. So let's sort of the ladies here and the gentlemen that are here with us. Hey, Nature Walks, good to see you, baby. Another realm. Thank you for joining us. So we may have another guest here popping up a little bit later on. Not for sure. It's tentative. And so we'll see. The ladies know sometimes I like to Tarantino this thing. And if you're familiar with Quentin Tarantino, he might start at the end of the movie, work forward, and then get to the middle and then work back. And, and so we're not going to Tarantino this for the sake of continuity. So tell me, just start from D-Day. How did you pop up on how'd you pop up in the middle of all this stuff?
Yeah. So how this came about was I've had a Twitter account since probably 2020. I vanished for quite a while. I came back in January of this year. Right around February 1st, there's a tweet that I sent you where JLR says this guy is lying. Well, I knew of JLR on from YouTube a little bit, and to me, every time I saw him, he's just appalling to me. Yep, there's the tweet right there. So this that Nona I DM with, it's a friend of mine on Twitter. Okay. I jumped into this tweet and I was telling him, I was like, dude, you're the one that's a felon here, all the stuff, and
right.
And you know how he doesn't like any dissent whatsoever. So
no
he
pushback.
What's that?
No, it's a no pushback zone with him.
Oh yeah, dude, he doesn't hate dissent, can't stand it. So he, of course, and so then, well, that same person I DM with had told me that nobody had seen Magnolia since like January 6th or 13th, something like that.
So you started putting it together.
Yeah, we started putting it together way back around February 1st. We were like, man, something is up. We had heard, I can't verify these stories, but we heard he took off from Washington in a hurry. We heard he deleted some lives. These were just rumors,
Sure.
Yeah. And then, so then I started tweeting about him, and then I seen some pictures, so I would take his pictures, and I would just make him look like a fool. I would change him around. We don't have any of the tweets ready tonight, but y'all can go back on my Twitter, and it's at Real Picasso Chad. You can go check them out there. And I made these pictures of him along with my tweets, and it got his attention. I even got his attention to the point where I even put in my pictures, I said, I know you're watching me. And how I knew he was watching me, it was when him and Alex were hanging out together like every day. Well,
so
Alex,
explain to me who Alex is, as if I have no earthly clue.
Okay, I focus on JLR. I don't really know a lot about these other guys, but Alex, he lives in Tucson there, and he was hanging out at the Guthrie house. So naturally, felons like to, birds of a feather flock together, right? So I can't really tell you much about him, to be honest with you. I just know he was hanging out with JLR. My focus is making the public aware of who JLR is.
Okay.
And but so Alex made a comment on one of my tweets, and back then I wasn't getting no play whatsoever. I'd get 2, 3, 4, 5 likes. Well, Alex jumped in and said, "Hey, haha, I gave you the only like that you have." Well, right then and there, I knew that they were both watching me.
Okay. Now, Alex is the gentleman that's on the screen now, correct?
Yes, the guy on the right.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm tracking.
Yep. He's the guy on the right. And so anyway, they made this tweet, or he made that tweet, and then he said, what on his way out before he blocked me, he says, "You should have been aborted." I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, dude,
Wow.
But that's yeah, dude, whatever. Stuff like that don't phase me a bit. But he blocked me, and that's how I knew both him and Jonathan were watching me. And watching my Twitter account, what I was posting, because it's the things I'm posting is I'm making him look like a fool. I mean, let's just be honest here. So yeah, that's how we got to the point of getting his attention. And then I'd say after that, do you want to get to the part where he calls my work and whatnot? You want me to keep going?
Yeah. Is that sort of the next thing chronologically, that the next instance that happens?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so fast. Let's rewind. So that I'm tracking. So you make the tweet. You make this tweet here, and then you start taking photos and kind of AI in them, and you jump on his radar at that point, because we understand there's this long standing. He's very vain. He's extremely vain, and like a lot of people, like people play with my images. I don't even care. Right? It makes me know. Never mind. So you're playing with the images, and then in comes Alex, this guy, this meathead Alex, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you and Alex, or you understand that Alex and JLR, they're talking about you behind the scenes, and then we want to fast forward to this. Now, this is, and you go ahead and narrate it. Can you read that?
Okay. Well, I still got to tell you how the story happened here. What happened that day?
All right.
So I'm making these tweets about him. I've got his attention. I know that. Well, Monday, April 6th at 10:29 a.m. It's not this email. He sends another email, and it's from a sock account, or that's what I call them. They're an alt account. Okay. And it says, and the funny thing is, if you look at the subject line there, it's in caps. Well, this alt account, it's also in caps. I mean, anyway, so it's how I know it's him. It says, "Need a tow ASAP, looking for Chad." Well, that email was just to verify that I worked there, because he probably did something. I don't know how he found me yet, but I have some suspicions of how and where that happened. Because on my Twitter account, if you just look at my Twitter account, my last name is not there anywhere. But anyway, he sends this email at 10:29 a.m. looking for Chad, need a tow ASAP, and my boss calls me and says, "Hey, we got this email." I was like, "Yeah, don't even respond to it." I said, "For one thing, nobody ever sends an email because they need a tow for their car. They call in. I mean, come on."
Yeah, it's a little more immediate than that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then somewhere between 12 and 12:30, Jonathan calls my boss
Uh-huh.
and talks to her about my tweets and how bizarre and disgusting and vulgar they are. And I really don't know what was said during that call. That now she did record the call, but I can't play it. It's never going to be played. She doesn't want
Fair
it
enough.
played. But then I have this email, and I'm gonna have to pull this one up myself because I can't hardly see that on screen there.
Mr. Nobody, what's up, buddy? Say.
Yeah. Give me a second to find this.
Sure. Hey, Flossie, can you do me a favor while we got a little downtime? Could you please, could you send me the video that you sent to me the other day where Alex and JLR were doing that? Can you send? Can you email that to me so that, or you can even text it to me again, and then I can email it to myself. Either way, I want to show. I just want to show how exploitative this gentleman is, even to people who loosely look like I don't know. I don't want to call this Alex a bodyguard because from what I understand, the context from White Boy is that this Alex is just all about, like, he just cannot stop talking about pardon my French, ladies, dicks and boobs. Like, it's just his thing. He loves talking about dicks and boobs while he's out covering the Nancy Guthrie case with the worm there. Weird strangers. Hey, remain calm. Good to see you, lady. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. For those that are just coming in, we have Picasso Chad. Picasso Chad, the title of this broadcast is called What a Winner Looks Like. Okay. Chad is what a winner looks like. And we're going to get to all of that because unfortunately, there have been a host of people, a laundry list, if you will, of people who have not been so successful in their legal plight with him. And if you didn't know already, and there hadn't been sufficient or substantial enough proof that this gentleman, not this gentleman, but the other gentleman, uses the court as a weapon, right? He uses it as a weapon, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion, let's cover it all the way up. He uses the court as a weapon to be a tyrant against the First Amendment speech, right? Whether or not it's just momentary or in a scenario like with what you see with White Boy Lockdown Radio, Matt, using it to permanently silence them for no, Flossie, they were in like some sort of public. Oh God, you know what? I may be able to just. It was the one where he was nodding out. You remember? Let me go here and see if I can.
Hey, I'm good to go too, by the way.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay. So after the phone call, about 30 minutes later, he sends an email to her, and the subject reads JLR employee Chad, and then he actually types out my last name, and he says, "Thanks for taking my call. This is the Twitter account ran by your employee Chad," and he types out my last name again. He has made numerous disturbing posts about me in the last 2 months. This is clearly targeted harassment, stalking, and defamation. If you can please address this and have him remove all posts about me, it is a bad reflection of your company. But if it continues, I have no choice but to take legal action against him, both criminally and civilly. I feel you will address this matter. Thank you. And then he attaches my Twitter account at the bottom and says, respectfully, JLR.
So it was the one that was in black and white, and Alex was nodding out, looking like he was on some kind of dope. Do you remember, Flossie? So what you're seeing here, Chad, and to the fine people watching, what you're seeing is it's a multi-tiered tyranny, right? So not only would JLR wish to have Chad fired, he also wants to have him silenced. Now, as you can see here, let me pull over here. As you can see here, he's making allegations that Chad is stalking him, harassing him, and defaming him, right? So move forward.
And mind you, the only thing I'm doing is tweeting. That's the only thing I'm doing.
Using his own words against him, using his own actions against him. Like maybe at the most you're playing with the pictures a little. Shared. Thank you for gifting one Benny Keys membership, baby. You're tweaking AI photos to make them look a little silly, and that would be like the most that would be the biggest thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at here?
And that's not a crime or anything.
No, that's not a crime. And in fact, if it appears to be any kind of art, then that is First Amendment covered speech. We covered this the other day with the I know you're around my age, so the political cartoons, right? The political cartoons, this is definitely in the essence of that, right? Like
because what I do with the pictures is I take a picture that he posted a long time ago on Facebook or something or somewhere on YouTube, whatever, and I cartoon them is what I do.
Right.
I change them into a cartoon. So
So it would be like Trump trying to track down everyone that makes a silly doodle of him, right? So it's definitely it's definitely your artistical expression. Whether or not AI did it or you sat and Picasso'd it, no pun intended. Whether you sat and Picasso'd it, it's still it's First Amendment protected activity, right?
Exactly. Yes. Sir.
Okay, so enter in what creates this scenario right here on the screen right now. What creates this scenario?
I'm going to get to that. This story gets even better. You thought that email and phone call and
am I out of sequence right now?
No, well,
okay.
We'll get to that, but in a second here, because what you're seeing on the screen is April 7th. Okay, but I haven't covered what happened at the nighttime yet, and I'm sure a lot of people go to like White Boy Stream, Hella Nerdy, some of those other ones. They've played the phone call, or you can go to my Twitter. So what happened here is after the phone call, after the email, he goes live in the evening and he's just sitting in his car as he always does, and he takes a phone call. Well, this guy calls in and he says, so what'd you do to Magnolia? And then this guy made death threats and all these other things, called them all kinds of names. And JLR says, well, meet me at the Circle K. So after the phone call, after the threatening phone call, JLR drives to the Circle K to meet this guy. And I'll get. I'm gonna have to circle back to this, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, we're good.
So he goes to the Circle K. He goes inside for a few minutes, and then he comes back out. The guy never shows up. Then the next day, JLR gets on his live stream with Criminal Network, and you can go ahead and play the video now.
Okay.
Yesterday made all those stupid threats. He was like blowing up my phone. He called a bunch of times. He's just some nut job from Minnesota.
Now, you didn't call him one time, right?
No, I have never called him.
I'm gonna jump the gun here probably and say you don't even know his phone number, do you?
No, don't even know his.
Okay, which is like, so what you're actually seeing here is a much deeper issue in that not only is JLR lying to his very narrow-shouldered bodyguard, he's also lying to his audience. Now we understand because we've seen that these ladies that throw money at this guy, we've seen that they're the wolves. They're like a pack of piranhas. If he meant, and he knows he can weaponize these people that are in his side chat, he can weaponize these people. These people have paid money and they feel like they're invested. And so he is sort of their, their little nest egg they've invested into. And God forbid JLR dog whistle these wolves and they're going to come at you. Have you had to deal with anything like that? Have you had to deal with a backlash from people you just assume are his supporters?
Have I?
Yeah, have you?
No, not really, but they have mentioned me in the, while he's talking about me, somehow they know my name, they know what county I live in, what county I work in. Have I had them contact me directly? No. I'm gonna have to say no on that one.
Okay.
Or
thank you,
other maybe a troll on Twitter or something, or in my comments on my YouTube, possibly. But that would be about it.
So it's been pretty benign in that affect. Like you haven't just an occasional troll here or there, but nothing really substantial, correct?
Yeah, I haven't had anything, I would say directed toward me. No.
Okay. Let me pull this video up here and just get it in the queue. And then what we will do is we will go back here. All right. Moving forward.
That used a spoof number as if he was in
spoof card.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I just caught it. How does he know if anybody's number that calls him is a spoof number, Chad?
Exactly.
How would he know that?
Okay, now this is going to get. I'll just fill you in on something here. He doesn't publicly say what he did to investigate to get to this point. He never, ever, ever mentions how he came up with it was me. He just states all this. Okay? He never says how.
Spoiler alert, because there was no contact. There is nothing to investigate, correct?
Correct. And then let me have this. Here's why I think he thinks it was me. He's going to go off of this. So he calls my work at noon that day. Then in the evening, he gets this angry, threatening call. So he puts 2 and 2 together and says, I pissed him off, didn't I? I made him angry enough to call me. That's what he was trying to do. It didn't work because I did not call him. And in it later on in this story, I'm going to tell you what I did to prove that.
Okay. But he's already this early on in the conversation about you, this is just a little sub convo, but he's already basic. And I caught it. I've never seen this. I don't watch him. What I do is I have friends that, they cherry pick things and they'll throw it at me and then I'll make a little silly video and then I move on. I'm invested in, other things. I just haven't been invested in this. I picked up immediately that for him to say it's a spoof number, there's no way for him to know that.
Okay. Do you know why he thinks it's a spoof number? Because the number came up and it was a local number and he did a reverse search on it in his car that day. That's in another video that I have, but he searches it up and he can't figure out what it is. He can't figure out he goes, oh, maybe it's real. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it is. But then sometime through the night, he came up with this idea that it's a spoof number for some reason. I don't know.
So he just, I get, I'm guessing that, yes, you can. I'm guessing that when his investigative skill runs dry and he can't figure it out, he's just going to always err on the side of it. It's a spoof number. Does that sound about fair?
That is exactly, because he mentions it several more times. When you get to the end of this video, just stop it because the other 2 are from another day.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
He wasn't even in the state, he's just blah, 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 diarrhea in the mouth.
That's what he gets off on, I guess,
Yeah.
telling people off across the country.
Telling people off across the country.
Yeah.
Which I find very interesting what this guy on the right talks about what people get off on. Meanwhile, he's covering a missing elderly woman, and evidently he likes to talk about dick and titties all the time. Is that a truism?
That is.
Yeah. Okay. Make it make sense.
Meet me when you're not.
And I want to mention to you while I got you here that's sort of a reoccurring theme that in my community we always point out when people try to say they're advocates for missing or for abused or whatever. That what they do is certain weirdos are extra hyper focused on being hypersexualized, right? It's the wildest thing. You can't. There's no way you can make it make sense. Yeah, let me see here. That's as loud as this one goes. Flossie, that's it. They're just talking low.
Yeah.
What did you get out of that? What did you get out of that?
Well, I pray for that guy. You know, maybe,
you're right.
He's
You're right.
A little bit.
Maybe he needs a hug.
Yeah, maybe he's mentally deranged or something.
Right, maybe someone needs a hug.
Mentally deranged. You have empathy for people. Trying to understand why people do what, but
True.
we have to stick to subject matter, and this is the Nancy Guthrie case. And
Go ahead and stop it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that was April 7th that he made the first accusation that it was me. I didn't find this out until later because I don't watch him either. I do like you do. People send me clips or I see clips or something, and then I talk about him or whatever. So then that was Tuesday. On Wednesday, April 8th, we had another phone call to my work, but this time it was a person saying that they were a quote unquote reporter. Okay. And they asked my boss, they said, yeah, I'm just calling to get comment on what you think of JLR calling. And I want to know what happened to Chad. My boss told them, well, you can go get bent. I don't want to make any comment on this, and never called again. And she hung up on it. Well, I guarantee you that phone call, and it wasn't JLR this time. He probably used somebody else, would be my guess, because for one, my work is not public. How would a reporter get it? Number three, why is a reporter going to care about a Twitter beef? They're not. They don't care about a Twitter beef. So I believe it was a fake reporter. I believe it was JLR, and what he was wanting to do is, oh boy, did he get fired? Did he get fired?
He was just checking back to see if his handiwork, if it did anything, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, for a little context, really quick, I want to come over here and I want to just show you. If you're not familiar, I'm usually the last horse to the trough on certain things that I'm not that I'm not really dedicated to or invested in. So I was sent this a few days ago. This is a little context of who this Alex is, right? And it's going to start off, I think, him sleepy. He's going to hurt his neck if he's not careful. You kind of see this thing a lot in the inner city. Sometimes you see people stuck on the corner and they look like they're defying physics. Alex looks pretty sleepy right here. Now, I think that it's pretty clear that JLR has also identified that Mr. Alex is him sleepy. Okay. Now, there's no honor amongst thieves. We know that. You don't have to have been in the life to understand there's no honor amongst thieves. This is JLR. I kind of just broke character, Chad. This is JLR exploiting his homeboy that appears to be, I mean, him and JLR are on the same time clock. They're on the same wavelength. JLR isn't sleepy, right? So it seems as if either Alex needs to get him some good rest at night, or maybe allegedly, and in my opinion, he ought not do whatever he did or ingested before he came in here to sit in this forum nodding out like he's on dirty heroin or something. I don't know. Moving forward.
Let me mute this real quick so I can hear you. Hold on, man. I got an echo. Hold on. Slow your horses. Call me tits, brother.
I'm gonna give you an opportunity.
Talk to me. Know what are you gonna say? I'm off here, bro.
So I gotta ask you, right? And this is just your behavior, right? When I see you out there in front of Nancy's house, like, why the constant like talk of titties? Like, why is everything is titties? Why?
Okay, number one, why are you watching me in front of the house?
Coming from the person.
Interesting, because you want to be watched, right? JLR, he wants to be seen next to you, because to a bunch of single bored housewives, no offense to any single bored housewives in here, you look like a tough guy. You make JLR look tough to other people who haven't never identified tough. Now I'm here to tell you, Chad, he's already said, what's your line of work? So that if what is
I
your
drive for a living. And I've done repo for 10 years.
You already know Chad is a tough guy. You dig? Like, Chad don't have to come on here and show you he's a tough guy. He drives a flipping wrecker for a living. That's not a job that I want to do, or that any of these people do. That is a hard job. It's a very necessary job as well. I don't want to discount it in that way, but it's a very hard job. And that repoing, if you've ever watched any of the repo stuff available to see on the YouTube, repoing is dangerous.
Hey,
dangerous.
I've had more guns pulled on me than a cop. I guarantee you that. Over 100 times.
Over 100 times.
Easily.
Wow.
And that came in my
Why are
chest.
you watching me? I'm asking you a question, bro. I'm asking you a question. And no one is afraid of you. You're a piece of shit, bro. You can come over here to me and do all that talking. I'm not JLR, bro. I'm not going to let you sit outside windows. I bet you
You're 55 years old. You're not tough.
What is wrong with you, bro?
Your shitty face tattoos, your man tits, and your midlife crisis. Nobody hears you.
Okay.
And one thing I really want to point out that, Matt is an OG in the game. He's been doing this a long time. Alex is still wet behind the ears, if you will, right? Alex is brand new to this, and that you can completely control his whole being by just saying the right things. Let's get back to this really quick. We will flip back and forth here. So back to this. Go ahead and armchair us through this.
I had to take care of business, folks. Just want to let people know.
Got my earbud. Give me one
second. From that wackadoodle that was making threats towards me. Well, remember that guy that called me? He's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. He's from Minnesota, and he's in.
Now, that's in fact not true, correct? You're in no kind of trouble, are you?
No, not any whatsoever. So I have, this is April the 10th. Yeah. Trying to think where I was at in the story here. So we did Wednesday, April 8th, and then this is on April 10th. So go ahead and play it so I can refresh myself here.
All right.
Trouble. He's in big trouble. That dude called me 35 times in the last 3 days, making a series of death threats, and authorities are on him now. And
now let me stop there. You haven't never called him not one time, but he's saying 35. Now in the email here, let me pull that right back up, because I like to do this. I like to substantiate things by what they say. Yeah. Nowhere in here does it say anything about a death threat, right?
Right, correct.
Nowhere. So he's definitely just juicing the story up. Here we go.
Prosecutor, Martin County, Minnesota prosecutor, along with Jackson County, Minnesota, where he works, he's about to be arrested. So if he gets arrested, when he does, not if, but when, we'll share his mugshot and everything like that, and share who these people are. They document everything. So I had to go take care of some business on that aspect.
Let me ask you a question you probably don't have the answer to, Chad. I'm guessing that this guy doesn't spend a lot of time out of town doing laundry, right? So do you think that he just has just an unlimited supply of these white, I don't know what you would even call it, sportswear? Or do you think he's wearing the same dirty one every single time?
I think he wears the same. If you notice on his live streams, he wears the same clothes over and over and over again. And those are arm sleeves is what they are. And nobody can figure out why he wears them. Does he have track marks? I mean, what? Does he cut himself?
You know what I think? And I'll give you my honest rundown. You see that the guy has very little eyebrows. I've been told that potentially, allegedly, and in their opinion, that he shaves his arms, shaves his legs, his head is clean shaved. I think that this guy is just fully in like evac mode, like ready to evacuate because I believe, well, let me say it this way. I've heard other people say that he is involved. Now, this isn't my opinion. This is someone else's opinion, that he's potentially involved in all kinds of things out there in Tucson. And he doesn't want to drop even a single hair. Right. So all of this is a very manicured look in this person's opinion. Right. He doesn't want to drop, like, this guy is like a hairless mole. Right.
Dude. Okay. I catch your drift. Yep.
Tracking me? You tracking me? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move forward.
But yeah. Okay.
Right.
Wackadoodles. I press charges. So that guy's he's in trouble. He's facing terroristic threats, harassment by communication, multiple counts. So I was just speaking to the sheriff and everything like that. Shout out to Martin and Jackson.
Now I know where we're at in the story. Okay, so on this night, I am on White Boy's live stream, and he is interviewing me about him calling my work. Okay. As I am on the live stream, as I'm literally on the live stream, I have a 2-story house. I sit by my window, and there's one way into our place. Well, I see a sheriff pulling up, and he stops beside my house. You know how they always stop at the house before or whatever?
They stop short and then walk up. Yeah.
So he stopped short, and I was like, hey, White Boy, there's a sheriff at my house, and I think it probably has to do with him, is exactly what I said on his live stream. Okay. As I am on that live stream, JLR, a few minutes before the sheriff came on, went live as well, and this is what he said. So, and people were telling me that he just went live. Where I see it in the chat on White Boy's chat.
So almost like he was swatting you in order to get an on-air response to what was going on.
Dude, he planned this. He saw me live on White Boy, so he called the sheriff, made this false police report, knew I was live, so he could get a reaction live. Okay.
Yep.
And then he goes live to tell him about it. Okay. So then
he got there he arrived at the destination, but too quickly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, when the sheriff gets here, I jump off the live stream. I go downstairs and I record the first 5 minutes of that. I also have that video as well. And I'll tell you another thing. I have FOIA'd everything from my county about him calling to my work, and so has another famous YouTuber. I'll just leave it at that. Everybody knows who she may be. So anyway, we're just waiting to get it. And I did it over a month ago, and I still haven't heard hardly anything. So then I go down, I talk to the sheriff, and the first thing he says to me, he goes, "So what's with all these calls to Jonathan?" I said, "Not one of them are for me." And I already knew what he was talking about because of that live stream. I actually tweeted that live stream out of when that death threats or the threats and everything that came in. I tweeted that out, and that tweet has the most plays of any tweet I've ever done. So then I talked to the sheriff, and as I'm talking to the sheriff and telling him it's not me, and he goes, "Well, why do you think you're the only suspect in this?" I said, "Because he wants it to be me," is exactly what I told the sheriff. So then, and I told the sheriff, I said, "You are welcome to take my phone." I said, "Do anything you need to do to prove it's me, not me." I said, "Go ahead, you can take my phone." And he said, "No, it's not necessary right now, but what's your phone number?" So he took my phone number. And the other thing he did was, I let him look through my call logs, and I have 2 of them because I have 2 phone numbers on my phone, one because of work, but I let him look through both of those, to prove it was not me. And the other thing I did the next day is I went and got my phone bill, And I have a copy of that here. So just to prove that this is not me. And that was one of my exhibits that we'll be getting to here in a second.
Okay.
So that was Friday night, April 10th. I found out later that on April 9th, he filed a harassment restraining order against me. And Friday, earlier in the day, yep, it's on the screen here. Earlier in that day, I was in the tow truck working and I was out in the field. Well, a Jackson County sheriff came to my work and tried to serve me with these papers right here. And these are from Arizona. And he went about an hour north of Tucson. He didn't do it in Tucson because of all the cases he has there. He went an hour north to some little podunk court, okay, to file this harassment injunction against me. Hang on, I got to do something.
Okay. So we have the whole petition. We have the petition as a whole. Like Chad was mentioning, that he went about an hour north of where he's located in Tucson and filed this motion. And it's in the opinion of Chad and myself that he did that so that this wouldn't pop up on the radar, because this is, this weaponization and final result of the injunction could certainly be brought up in a discovery at a later point. Now,
yeah, I'm ready now.
Yeah, I want everyone to understand that there's a threshold that's different in the civil court than there is in the criminal court, right? Now, in the criminal court, they're absolutely not going to take any action against you without doing all of the digital forensics, making sure that it was actually you that called. Please don't think for a minute that a VPN is going to keep you safe. Police can cut right through that like bread. They will make sure that it's actually you, so as there's not a return liability like appeal or something discovered later on, but that the threshold civilly is it's different right now. What do you need me to do at this point?
All right, now I'm good to go. So
Okay.
He filed an injunction on me, and they try to serve me at my work location. I am out in the tow truck, so they can't do it. They didn't leave any forwarding information.
Okay.
And I get, what we should do before I continue with the story. The rest of that video, later on in the live, him and Alex talk about me again. So let's play that before I jump too far in the story.
All right.
Jackson County, Mississippi, or Minnesota sheriffs. Shout out to both those sheriffs up there. So they did good. They're handling it, and he will be dealt with. So moving.
Still being
I thought you were going to the border today. You never went.
No, I had to take care of some things today.
Gotcha.
I had some wackadoodle come at me, so I had to file a bunch of police reports, and some dudes in big truck. Dude, no, remember that guy that called me the other night threatening?
Yeah.
Well, he's from Minnesota, so he.
Now, I don't want for a minute to discount the fact that JLR may truly indeed have people calling and threatening him.
Oh, he may be, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not Chad, and that it's been proven, and we'll get to all of that. Here we go.
Yeah.
Called me today. I woke up this morning and he literally called my phone and said he's going to kill me, and I recorded it. What an idiot!
Is he obsessed? What's wrong?
I don't know, but he called me yesterday 35 times on my phone, and he called me at 12:01. I finally answered at 12:01, and he screams in the phone he's going to kill me.
Wow.
No, literally. So I played it to the sheriffs. Like, they taken it very, 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 very seriously. Like, they're literally going to the prosecutor.
Now, what's interesting, some of us a lot of us lean over into the true crime, Chad. And what I think is very interesting right now is that you have this unique opportunity to watch JLR's body language, his blink rate, the way he moves his neck and his shoulders. You get to see what output JLR is giving you when he's being deceitful. When he's outright lying, you can see it. Now, if you see it enough times, you may be able to pick up on other times when he's behaving in this same way. He is notoriously good for never blinking, right? He doesn't blink. Now, all of a sudden, he's doing a bunch of blinking, and it's all, I can see, and I don't watch him enough to even, I can see that he is noticeably different here than he is typically moving forward. I just wanted to point that out.
Going to get charged. he's going to get charged. So they said we're going to take it to the prosecutor and everything like that. I got a police report number, and he's toast. Well, they're concerned about his safety and the safety of others and everything like that. So apparently they told me they were going to his house. They're talking to the prosecutor. They're going to put it all, bundle it all up and stuff. They gave him
Now, bundling it all up, this was April 9th or 10th, correct?
April 10th, yes.
April 10th. It is now June 6th, almost 2 months later.
Yeah, it's been over 60 days since the sheriff visited my house.
Yeah, and that's well outside of the standard charging an indictment time moving forward.
Evidence. That's all I'm going to do. If anyone calls me and threatens me, I'm pressing charges. I mean, you got to take these wackadoodles serious. I don't know why this dude is obsessed with me, but he wasn't even from Tucson. He was literally using spoof numbers.
And what if he takes it out on somebody out there? You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe they're
taking it seriously. I mean, I talked to the head sheriff in one of the counties there. So
I would like for most people that don't know, like, the head sheriff is the only sheriff. There's not, like, for him to say the head sheriff, he's really trying to sell this thing thick.
The head sheriff,
okay.
Go ahead.
So I want to point a couple things out here. One, when he said I called him, he said he recorded the phone call. I recorded the phone call. Did you catch that part?
Yeah. And that he played it for the sheriff.
Okay. Well, why doesn't he play it for everybody else to see? Because I've provided proof of my voice out there a couple of times or a bunch of times already. Okay. Why doesn't he provide this recording to everybody to prove that it's me? Do it. Come on.
Because he can't.
Because he can't. He doesn't have it.
No.
So, and then the other thing is the head sheriff is the same sheriff that I talked to in his deputy post. And I knew his father when he was a sheriff, when I was a kid. So, head sheriff, he's an idiot. You
got deputy sheriffs, and then you have the sheriff.
There's no such thing as head sheriff.
Yeah, like he could have spoke to sheriff number 2 or number 3, but he got to the head sheriff.
Yeah, the head.
Yeah, here we go. You good to go?
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
All right.
It's 2 counties. Works in one county and he lives in another, in Minnesota. So, Jackson County and Martin County, back to back. So what a wackadoodle, man. So when if he gets arrested or whatever, well, I'll share it. It's a story, right? And share my own experience being, it's a straight up stalker, man. Try to handle that for all, for most of the day today, putting everything and ironing everything out and compiling it.
He is doing everything in his power to not look at the camera. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah. And the other thing is, did you notice what he was trying to do there? He's trying to play the victim. He wants to be the victim so bad because of all the things that he's done to, like, Magnolia, allegedly. I mean, come on. This dude is trying so hard to be a victim.
See, we have over here, Chad. We identify what's called the formula. Okay. Now let me come over here so I can see myself. Let's say this is a clock, right? And we'll use a clock just as a representation of how the formula works. Right here at 12 o'clock. Thank you, Lila, for gifting 1 Benny Keys membership, baby. You know it means the world to me. Thank you, Queen. Right here at 12 o'clock, you have the want or the need to be breaking news, right? Then it pushes on over to the 3, right? At 3rd, you have threats. And everything between 12 and 3 is scrutiny, scrutiny, scrutiny. So you have breaking news, then you're scrutinized for whatever. Then you have the threats, then you're scrutinized for the threats. And then at 6, you have victimhood. He's at 6 o'clock right now. Now from 6 back to 12, right? That's where you get the individual parameters, ego, whatever else fills that reset from 6 back to 12 counterclockwise. And then the process starts all over again. It's pretty, you can set a clock by it. It's breaking news, scrutiny, threats, scrutiny and criticism, and then victimhood. And that's where we're at right now. We are at 6 o'clock. You good?
Yes, sir.
Moving forward.
All right. So moving forward.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Oh, I didn't know there was a little bit left. Go ahead.
Is there? Yeah, there's just, one. Well, 1 second.
Easy people, man.
Chad, bro, you are a wackadoodle.
I know. I'm a wackadoodle.
You wackadoodle. All right. Where are we at now? You want to move to the paperwork?
Yeah, well, what I can do is, so I told you guys that they tried to serve me Friday. They also tried serving me at my house on Monday, the 13th. And again, I was gone working. I'm always gone, it seems like. So then I'll finish the story because it's almost done here. Then later on in the week, so I find out that he's trying to file or serve me with these harassment restraining order. Well, dude, I'm not a criminal, okay? I've never I have no record whatsoever. I've not been to court. So I don't know how any of this stuff works, right? Thursday comes up, I'm stressed out because I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? You know, like, do I go pick up the papers? Do I not? I'm trying to call a lawyer because I don't know what to do. Well, Thursday comes and I had a scheduled vacation for May 29th. I went to my boss on Thursday and I was like, hey, I need to take, you know, my vacation now since it's slow here at work so I can, you know, deal with this, you know, just, you know, and so I took my vacation. I went out to Indiana where my family is, and I spent some time out there. And while I was out there, I was calling lawyers, asking them what do I do, and I finally got a hold of a lawyer because none of them in my county even touch it. I would have to go 3 hours north to Minneapolis to get a lawyer that will do this kind of thing. So I called one. He says, go ahead. If you want to fight it, you need to pick the papers up. So I called the sheriff and I said, when I come back on Monday, I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. And he goes, okay, we'll get them ready for you. So I went in, I picked them up, and you can show the injunction papers now if you want. I picked the papers up and found out what it was all about.
Okay.
And when I read it, I couldn't make heads or tails of these papers. You could even show the highlighted ones if you'd like.
Okay, let me stop. Let me stop the share really quick so we don't make no mistakes here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come back over here. Let's minimize you. Let's share the screen and we will go to redacted. Okay. Here we are. Let me move this banner and let's zoom in a little. Okay. Walk us through it.
Yeah. So what I found out he was filing on me. Now, I think go to the yeah, okay, yeah, you got the right page now. That page there in his filing here, I had to highlight it because you can't make heads or tails of nothing in here. Now the orange is his comment in the filing. Any other color is just another, it's a tweet or a comment that he pulled off of Twitter.
Okay.
And then when he here's his first mistake in an official document, he swore to this. He swore that my Twitter account is at Real Picasso Chads with an S 20. It is not. And then what the stupid thing is, down below, he puts at Picasso Chad. Well, my name on Twitter is Picasso Chad, but my handle, he's got the handle wrong. So my first thing when I went to court, I was gonna say he doesn't even have the right handle. That is not my Twitter account.
Right, and you'd be able to pull it up and show that.
Yeah, and the other thing, you know, I think he loses his case right here. And we'll get to me and you think why he did this a little bit later here, and we don't have to go through all of these tweets or anything. But you know, like some of there's pictures that go with these, and that's what the numbers on the side are just my file number because I screenshotted every tweet to take the court with me.
Number associates to a file number in your phone.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough.
So really they're nothing on here. But the very first tweet I say, holy shit, that's fucking rich coming from a woman beater himself. And back then I wasn't holding back. I was going at him, okay? He is just not aware, remember Magnolia, JLR, the fine young lady you DV for years? Drip Drop, the steamroller is coming for you with your felon history. You are fucked. Washington will come for you. Will be coming for you. Drip Drop, the pressure will be too much for you. Drip Drop, you already fucked up today and caught a charge. And this must have been, God, I don't know what date this was, but something, it must have been another charge from something.
The disorderly, maybe?
It could be, yeah. I don't really remember. It's been so long ago now. But anyway, so the tweets are like that, and you know, it's just tweet after tweet after tweet. The biggest thing I want to point out here is his comment. His comment down below, it says, posting bizarre and misleading statements about me that are intended to harass and damage my reputation. Okay, and he pretty much says that throughout here, but on the second page,
the orange here.
Yeah, the orange. I want to get to this one on page 3 or 4. It says calling and texting my phone multiple times on 4/7/26. Now, did you notice how he says I was calling his phone multiple times on one day? In the video, he says it was over 3 days. So get your freaking story straight, bro. Which is it? What did they happen on one day, or did they happen over 3 days? And then he says that I used an app to generate a Tucson number, threatening that he was in Tucson and was going to physically harm me, posting false accusations about me on social media, and presenting them as fact to the public. Now,
pause.
Yeah.
Anything that you're posting, you're not speculating. Am I wrong? What you're posting is the same thing that anyone can pull from the actual the county websites where the information is housed, right? You're not stretching them or misrepresenting them. You're just saying he's a POS and that justice is coming based upon the actual factual indictments and so charging mechanism and all that, right?
Correct. The only thing I'm changing is the pictures, like we've already discussed. I'm just making it funny.
So when he says false accusations, is he referring to the situation, the alleged situation with Magnolia?
I don't know what he's referring to because we never got to find out.
Okay. All right. Moving forward.
So moving forward, like I said, all these tweets are pretty much the same. Then we come to the day of the hearing, which was May 6th, okay? And I had another appointment that day, so I had to make a motion to reschedule. And so they rescheduled it for May the 20th. Okay, now mind you, this whole time when I find out that he's filed this against me, I am preparing my case, okay? Every day I'm doing something. And I've got mounds and mounds and mounds of evidence and exhibits that I had to put together. Like I had to scour his live streams for those videos. I collected the videos of the caller. I mean, listen, I'm prepared to go into court and ready to fight this guy, right? Well, May 20th comes around. Oh, and here, I tell you what, let me find this link. If you want to, let me get this link because this will be good for them to hear as well. Why don't you say hi to your viewers?
Hey, Viper, how you doing, buddy? What we'll go ahead and we'll play this while he's doing that.
You're on live. I've spoken about tits numerous times. This is your behavior. I'm asking you, have you seen tits before? This is what you say in front of Nancy Guthrie's case.
You've been asking me that question. Have I seen tits before?
I do this morning. 4 different clip cameras talking about titties.
I got 9 kids, bro. You think I haven't seen titties before?
Have you seen them?
I said 19. Hey, a question with substance. If not,
so we're going to say that you've seen tits.
Something with substance. You don't like titties? You like dicks only? Hey, women love titties.
I'm coming from a guy who literally has JLR and
This guy is a bona fide weirdo. Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm guessing right about now, Andrew Hiltz. He's got a position open for this guy to run tailback. you find what you was looking for?
Yeah, it's in the StreamYard link there.
Back chat. Okay, let's
So
go over here.
May 20th, I mind you, I live 1,487 miles away from this court. Okay, so they let me call in. I call in, and why don't you go ahead and play the video?
Chat.
Yes.
Do you mind waiting like for 5 minutes?
That's
like,
fine. I'll
Judge
do
is gonna.
whatever you need.
Okay. Okay, because Judge is gonna go ahead and wait for the other party to call and check in. I believe the last time that there was a court date scheduled, he never checked in on that date either.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, he is on a live stream right now. He's not even paying attention.
Oi. Okay, so yes, that's all Judge is waiting for, and then we'll reconnect with you. So if you can just hang tight for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I'll even set my timer to make sure that you
that's
don't
fine.
forget. So.
I'll wait as long as you need to get this over with.
Okay, and then if for any reason we get disconnected, let me.
Oh yeah, give me. Take my number.
Hi, Ted.
Yeah.
Hi, sorry about the wait. So Judge said to let you know that we will go ahead and send you notice that he will dismiss the case.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Like
That's
that?
what winning looks like.
That's what winning looks like, right there, folks.
That's what winning looks like.
That's what winning is. Winning.
Okay. Yeah, no, Sherry. He actually didn't have a lawyer and he didn't blow it. So, spoiler. Now let's go back to this here.
I went pro se versus JLR, and he failed to appear because, well, his truths don't hold any water. Let's just say. I thought, okay, so getting back, remember what we talked about earlier? We think that he went in, filed this thing, he poured some gasoline on the floor, he turned around, threw a match behind him, and just walked away. I don't think he ever planned on taking me to court. I don't think he even expected me to fight back.
No, I believe you're probably right, Chad. And let me take it a step further because I think that I have a fair handle on his mentality. I think that it's a two-part deal, right? At least a two-part, but we'll focus on the main two avenues. Avenue one is that he believes that someone who isn't well versed with the court is going to slow up. They're going to you have the right to remain silent, and it appears as if you expressed that right. You didn't do anything more after this paperwork came, right?
Yeah, so, and I want to add that as well. So as soon as I got this paperwork and heard about it, I stopped tweeting anything. I stopped talking about him. What he wanted to do was shut me up. And well, he did it temporarily. I didn't have to do it, but I did it because it's the smartest thing to do. If you're fighting a court case, shut the fuck up, okay? Don't say anything. The only thing that I did do is I tweeted out a bunch of quotes, and they were just quotes, so no big deal. But I didn't talk about my case one single bit. And the other thing is, I didn't want him to know what my plan was because I came in heavy. I brought tons of evidence. I brought exhibits. I mean, I was ready to impeach him. I wanted to put him on the stand. I really wish he would have showed up because I would have just tore the shit out of him. I really think I would have.
And so Avenue 2, I think you would have too. Avenue 2 is that I think that he thought he was going to get a fish on the line. I think he thought he was going to hook you in the lip and that you were going to go ahead and splurge for an attorney. Yeah. And as soon as you got the attorney, well, then you've paid the retainer. You're in pocket now. You got an attorney in pocket, and he's still just going to abandon the proceedings, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, maybe if you look at it from an alternate perspective, maybe if you'd have hired an attorney, he would have, he may have went ahead and drawn this thing out so that, if you didn't get a one price covers all, if the attorney is billing is for billable hours, well, then he'll just drag it out in hopes that he can continue to help incur you a larger lawyer bill, right?
Yeah.
Once it didn't fit the narrative anymore, bam, like he's actually on a live stream when he's supposed to be showing up to court, right?
No, I won't say that it didn't cost me any money because, I missed time at work. I had to, I did spend some money doing all this, but it's not what he wanted it to be.
Right. And it didn't take shape. And so, boom, you didn't bite the hook. You're out of personal time, whatever your time is worth per hour that you spent working on this whole thing. But I think that it was for you, it's a very teachable moment, wasn't it? Did we lose you? Chad. Did we lose you? He dropped. He'll be back. Jump on back in, Chad. Yeah, it was dismissed. I don't know. Yeah, here he is. Okay, you back?
Yeah, I didn't realize I had a spot on my phone and it died.
Oh, no worries. So we've arrived at it's dismissed. Now, since it's been dismissed, it was dismissed on the 26th, correct?
I believe, I don't even remember that date. I remember all these other dates, but that one I don't know because once I won, dude, I was free. So,
Let's see. These are his requests. Cease all contact with him. Stay away from his home and current location, which neither one of these have ever been an issue. Stop posting any content, photos, and you can see right here, it's the AI-generated cartoon images that seem to be the bone he's picking. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. Or statements about him online. Remove existing defamatory posts. Refrain from encouraging others to harass or defame him. Now, I'm going to tell you what, and Flossie knows. Flossie, she's my sidekick in some of this stuff. She has had, I'm not the only one. She has literally drugged me to X kicking and screaming until I started to realize the power and the reach of X. That being said, YouTube is a very calm beast compared to X. X is the wild, wild west. Yeah. So I'm also, again, playing the devil's advocate. I'm not here to discount the fact that probably a lot of these things that he's requesting, they could be happening to him on X, but it's not you. Now, anything, and I think you would probably encourage him, right? Because you wanted him to show up to court. If you had, in fact, made any defamatory post, would you challenge him to bring this again to another court proceeding?
I don't know. I mean, there are no defamatory posts, so I don't.
Well, so that's you've only spoke truth, right? Defamation is only a lie.
I've only talked about what's already out there, what is public, what has actually happened. The other thing is all these lists of demands. I've never been to Florida, for one, where he lives. The other thing, when he filed this, he's not from Arizona. I'm not from Arizona. I think this judge would have maybe possibly thrown it out on jurisdiction. You should file it at your home is where you should do it. But whatever. And, all these other demands, I don't understand anyway, because I've never met him. I've never called him. I've never tried to contact him. I've never asked anyone else to do anything to him ever. Mm-hmm. What I do is on my own free will. I don't tell anybody else to do anything ever. I never encourage anyone to do anything.
I just received an email, and what it says is now this is This is activity that was alleged to have carried out in a separate case outside of Nancy Guthrie. So you won't have any knowledge of this probably.
Okay.
A lot of the ladies in the chat who are Summer Wells true and true. This is what the email states. It says Trainwreck and JLR. I'm not sure if you remember when Trainwreck during Summer Wells case had gotten an email and that email disappeared, but in it were a street address, and that street address turned out to be Bullhorn Betty's ex-husband's house that she lives in. Then JLR contacted her ex-husband's family business that she didn't at the time speak to. That was when I helped. That was when you helped raise money for the support dog for her. Gotcha. JLR did that to her, and he was also involved with Nick at Night Media. The anti-slap lawsuit in PA with Barbecue Lady and Granny's watching. That probably has zero context to you, but I do remember Trainwreck. She used to do a lot of parodies. She was, a pretty nice gal. She was pretty chummy with Griff and a lot of those people on that side. There was also, the love affair between Bullhorn Betty and JLR. There's a lot of history that has come before this. And so I think that, Chad, that's why to a lot of us, we know the high points, we know the waypoints, we know the landmarks of what's going on. Probably not so much with the Nancy Guthrie case, but more with the debacles that happen outside of that, right? We're not surprised of the behavior. We're talking about a guy that sued Kanye West and sued Kim Kardashian and sued the coach for the New England Patriots. And I don't know, there may have been a suit against Jesus himself. You're talking about a guy that while he was fishing money, scamming money from people from the internet, a portion of those proceeds, I don't know if you know this, a portion of the proceeds, he gave it to his parents. And then later on, he turned state evidence against his own parents, and his parents spent time in federal prison for that. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay.
Yep.
So
now,
this is the
Summer Wells case too.
You do what now?
I am aware of the Summer Wells case.
Okay. Yeah, there was an awful lot that has transpired in the whole span of this thing. And I do believe that I believe that like a little kid, certain content creators on the internet, they press the envelope and they press the envelope just like a kid, just to see what they can get away with. And then they retreat back, and then they press a little further. Then they retreat back.
That sounds
yeah, these people are they appear to be operating with impunity, but what you're going to find out at some point, like I know that the sheriff in Tucson, he's made comments about the YouTubers and pretty much anywhere JLR has went, allegedly, and in my opinion, there's a bad press that follows. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know someone named Nicole Farnham?
No, I do not.
You do not. Okay. And I don't have, I will get the context, but someone just asked me to ask you.
No, I don't know. Don't know the name.
Okay. What he did to him is a lighter version of what he did to her. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go back here. I emailed this to myself.
Now, here's one thing I want to point out. I've been told and I heard that I am the first one that he's ever used his own voice and name to call their work. He's done it before, but he usually disguises his voice. That's what I've heard through the rumors of everything out there that he's ever done. He's doxed a lot of people on X, especially. But I've heard I'm the first person he's ever used his own name and real voice to call their work.
Okay. And that is actually surprising. I mean, I think that the guy probably even would have supporters do his dirty work for him. I mean, he has that.
I'm thinking I got under his skin. I must have really got under his skin for him to do what he did. And,
Oh yeah.
And he really thought that this was going to work, and it's actually backfired on him.
And he's not spoken a word about it since this case was dismissed, has he?
No, because I have supporters that send me stuff daily, and I've heard not a peep about this. He hasn't mentioned me in the live stream or nothing. So he goes from broadcasting to now the videos that he broadcasted this to have 500,000 views. So 500,000 people have heard that I am a criminal and that I've made terroristic threats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
That's defamatory in and of itself.
Exactly.
And that I hope that if, there was ever a time where you got bored, to go ahead and, do what you got to do, homie. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do.
Yeah. And not to mention that, he interfered with my work. He tried to get me fired,
Well, so what I want to point out here is, of course, this guy has been pro-Trump, he's been all the things. He's been a devout member of Islam. He's been all the things, right?
Oh yeah, I done tweets about that.
What's interesting about this is that you got to understand that a lot of this behavior that he's doing, this behavior absolutely, definitely, it toes the line. And I'll tell you why, because it says when Riches was released in April 2012, online video became his platform of choice. In December of 2012, Riches was arrested for violating probation after he filmed himself driving to Newtown, Connecticut. Shortly after, 26 people, 20 of them children, were slaughtered in a school shooting. Now, this guy, what you understand about that psychology and that mentality is he just got out from doing 10 years in the puzzle factory in the feds, right? That is not a place. I mean, they say the feds is club fed, like it's white uniforms, it's better food, so on and so forth. This guy ended up playing the crazy card, allegedly, in my opinion, and went to a psych unit in the feds, right? So after doing almost 10 years to the day in the psych unit, he gets out in April of 2012. And by December of 2012, he's already violating his probation. Okay. And he does it while filming himself driving to Sandy Hook, where he then has dolls in the passenger seat with the Lanza family, with the shooter, and he's got a bunch of stuff going on. So what you understand is that this dude is his own worst enemy. He can't get out of his own way. He's going to try a lot of things with a lot of people. And I can tell you this, after my run-in with him in Tennessee, which is the handshaking video, when I got back from Tennessee, my address was put on several different kind of websites. One website was called Diaper Dump, and we actually had a slew of hard up people looking for. Diaper Dump is a site where you can go on and say, hey, look, my baby's not in diapers anymore. I have 15 cases of diapers, or I have 56 diapers, or whatever it is. It's a place to give back, right? So we had hard up mothers coming to the front door knocking for diapers. And that, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, and allegedly, that's the sort of game he would play. He would do that. He would, and guess what? We started handing out money to the people that came and then trying to explain to them, hey, we don't know who's done this. And eventually it just tapered off. So I don't know, this here is really beyond comprehension, and that no one is safe. If you're going to stand up to the guy, what you got to be able to do is you've got to be able to stay in the pocket, right? You've got to understand that as long as you're not contacting him privately, you are only reporting what is factual and actual about him, he can try this stuff, but it's not going to work. It's when you step outside of the parameters of the freedom of press, freedom of speech, You start sending letters, snail mail, or emailing him or calling him unwarranted or unwanted, then you open yourself up for that, right? Hold on, let's see.
You know, while you're looking for something there, you know, and his chat was while he's talking about me, his chat was saying my first name, Chad, or they were saying Picasso Chad. They were saying I live in Martin. They were saying that they themselves, I live in Martin County or I live in Jackson County. And how his chat found out it was me, I don't know. I'm still trying to find. He must have said something to somebody, or he must have broadcast it somewhere else. I still haven't found that part yet, but I think I'll find it eventually.
I mean, with the tens or hundreds of thousands of people that rotate in and out of that community, you got to understand that it's you know the demographic is all sorts of people, lawyers, court clerks. I mean, these people have jobs. It's not a 500,000 people that are all the same demographic. You know, Caucasians. You know, sit at home all day and watch YouTube. No, it's the whole gamut. It's a wide array of different people that hold different positions, you know, some in the community. He may even have cops that are watching. I mean, that wouldn't be a stretch, in my opinion.
Yeah. And another thing I want to say, guys, is I started a hashtag Justice for Magnolia a long time ago too, and I would put that in every single tweet. Thanks, Lila, for reminding me about this. This is one thing I left out of the story. Was in every single tweet I would put Justice for Magnolia, and I'm sure that's another reason why he targeted me. I was the one that I believe I was one of the first ones to tweet that out.
Well, good on you. Good on you. Patricia 7294.5. She says hello, Chad.
There's Kelly, my good friend Kelly on text. Kelly
P.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. Sherry, the JLR filed a harassment injunction against our guest right here, Picasso Chad. He stayed in the pocket, and JLR didn't show up for court, and it was all dismissed. I thought we had been pretty clear about this. Maybe you're kind of going in and out. I do really quick want to read something, just shorthand.
That's cut off for me. What's the bottom of that thing?
Let me move it here. Okay, let's go up here. Okay. I want to go down to the part with Nicole here. This is all of the Sandy Hook stuff. I mean, this guy is, you got to understand that he impersonated, I think it was the uncle of the shooter, Adam Lanza. I mean, this guy he was photographed kneeling in front of flowers and candles. This is an active situation. The police still had the subdivision where the Lanzas lived. You still couldn't get down in there, right? Like, it was blocked off to all traffic. And here he is. He drives down there. Now, the issue was that he went out of state, right? He's in Pennsylvania, and then he drives down to Connecticut, right? So where's it at here? Let me just okay, right here. Nicole Farnham. Let me just read it from here. 2 days after Nicole Farnham created a Facebook event for an anti-Trump protest in Pottstown, Pennsylvania on Saturday, November 12th, she was getting attacked by hundreds of commenters and threatened with lawsuits by a former boss. It was all thanks to one self-described troll. The harassment came after Jonathan Lee Riches posted a 19-year-old Temple University student's name, 2 photos, and a former place of employment on 2 pro-Trump Facebook groups containing well over 500,000 members. Expose the people who are hosting these anti-Donald Trump events, his post read. 2 days after that, Rich's post would have more than 60 shares and hundreds of comments. Commenters insulted Farham's appearance, calling her a skank, scary, and nasty, to name a few. They called her an attention whore, among other insults like cuck, a favorite in the alternate right internet lexicon. One person called on others to end Farnham's career, social life, love life, etc. Like this is, and I mention this because this is sort of the power in numbers, right? Like he's always sort of been able to embed himself inside of groups for that are for a greater cause. But then what you have is you have somebody who has an opposing. And listen here, protesting is our right as Americans. There are some parameters to it. Some places you have to have a permit to protest, others you don't, right? So this guy is certainly I want to be careful with what I say, so I'm going to step back from that. But the guy has created what appears to be, in my opinion, has created a dangerous environment, right? A super dangerous environment. And for those people, you know, I fear for people's well-being. Now, you and I spoke earlier about, and this isn't my opinion. I've heard other people say this, that he always seems to be right on the cutting edge of when things happen in Tucson. Have you identified that?
Right on the cusp of what now?
On the cutting edge of like I'm watching this dude who's watching a cop dig up some pajamas.
Yeah.
Or he's right there when this is found on the side of the road, or a glove, or this or that.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He always he inserts himself into all these cases somehow. He always seems to find a glove or a shoe or a potato or whatever it is, just,
Yeah.
I'm just naming things out here, but he always seems to be there. And how I came across JLR was I lived in Indiana. Remember the Delphi case, correct?
Yeah.
So when I was repoing, I used to drive through Delphi all the time. I didn't start doing it until after the case had already happened. But what drew my attention to this guy was, remember that time he was standing outside the court and they were taking Richard Allen inside and he was yelling at him, "You're going to prison for the rest of your life. And why did you do it?" Yeah. So that's how I first became aware of this guy. And to me, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Him doing that.
Now, I'll tell you this, that there has been some allegations, and we spoke about this off stream. There were some allegations that in the Brian Laundrie situation, there was a cooler that Bullhorn Betty and Chronicles of Olivia, they found it on the side of the road. And they claimed that it belonged to the girl, right? And I don't know it. What was Brian Laundrie's girlfriend's name? Forgive me.
Petito.
Gabby Petito.
Petito. Yeah.
Along this stretch of road, they find a water bottle and they're holding it like it's evidence. And they're trying to get in contact with the police to come get this evidence. And then sometime later, I have it on an archive channel. Sometime later, Chronicles of Olivia is doing a live stream, and the same water bottle, it's sitting on a dresser behind her. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That's the bottle you're holding in the picture when you're, assisting in Gabby Petito, right? Then there was another scenario where a woman went missing local to Bullhorn Betty there in Florida. And, Bullhorn is just in the woods and she's just profusely sweating. And then bam, all of a sudden she's holding a meat cleaver, right? She's holding a meat cleaver and she's holding it like it's evidence. My point is that these people interject themselves and that they're all tied together in this weird network, whether they fall out or not, whatever it looks like publicly. I believe these people still all talk privately. Publicly, it looks a certain way, right? These people have all, to some degree, been involved, at least with someone else who has planted evidence, right? So this whole thing, I don't know what's the destination? What's the payoff? right? Like, what is the end? The meat cleaver. Oh yeah, I wish I remembered that lady's name, but it at this point it's inconsequential. But there's just a long-standing history of these people. Oop, look, there's something on the ground. That's problematic. And I see the trend, and the issue is that I don't believe that there's not enough people who have followed this for as long as a lot of us have tracked it, and that they don't see the connections. All of a sudden, this dude is floating around in the desert doing God knows what, and then all of a sudden he's right there when a uniformed police officer, Chad, a uniformed police officer is digging up pajamas.
Yeah.
Not forensics, not crime scene, but a uniformed cop. Not even what you would expect to see with anything as important as finding evidence in the Nancy Guthrie case, right? Like, no. So let's see. We got a couple of comments here. No one will file charges against me and then show up. I would sue the SOB for all the lie. Well, hey, stranger things have happened. Stranger things, they happen every day. So do you have anything else that you want to cover? I want to make sure that we've comprehensively covered everything that you had on your mind. And was there any more paperwork? Oh, let's go back to, let's finish this up real quick.
Yeah.
Request 13 is refrain from encouraging others to harass or defame me. Okay. I think that it's pretty safe to say that as much weight as he put on describing what he alleged Chad did to him, that it would be pertinent that he show up in court, or at least on the Zoom or on the phone call, whatever. So I think that you see what we're witnessing is the progression right in front of us. Let me move on to the next here. I think that may be.
I think the most important thing that I want to get out there is that by him not showing up in court just proves I had support all along. People knew it wasn't me. They heard the voice of the guy that actually called. They heard my voice. It's nothing even close to each other. Him not showing up in court just proves that it wasn't me, because he had nothing to bring. He said he recorded the phone call. If he recorded the phone call, he would have presented that in court. He didn't have it. Agree. That's why he didn't show up. No, you're good.
No, I hit the wrong button. I agree. I mean, if you're gonna broadcast to the sort of numbers that he broadcasts to, they want to see him win, right? And so he just doesn't show up. I think it's clear he did it to weaponize the scenario. He saw, or at least thought he saw, that you were going to do the appropriate thing, which is while there's a potential proceeding, there's a motion that's waiting to draw out, that you're not going to say anything more. And that's all he wanted, right? It's it's basically the same thing. Let me find it here. It's the same thing as this here, right? Now, I have since went and found, this is Dali Talk, DALI Talk, if no one's familiar. If somebody could please put his link in the chat. This is Dali Talk. He's a gentleman he's a true crimer. He covers that really witty, nicely dressed judge in Harris County, Houston, Texas. He covers his proceedings every day. The guy, I like him, right? But this is the thing. Pretty much the same allegations he put on you, he put on Dali. Yes, he's saying Dali is harassing him. Dali is stalking him. This is crime con. This is not JLR con. This isn't just an event. Yeah, this is an event specifically for JLR. Anyone with the means can come there. Web sleuth Trisha was there. Does that mean Web sleuth Trisha was stalking him? I mean, I hear that JLR is headed to Collin County, Texas to cover the Carmelo Anthony thing coming up. If I decide I want to go cover it, does that mean that I'm stalking or harassing him? No. He uses the guise of public tragedy, and anyone that comes to it that maybe has had an opinion against him at some point in time, now all of a sudden they're harassing him or they're threatening him or whatever, right?
And
now,
this is the same thing as the story about when he went to the airport to confront Nerdy, because Nerdy flew in to do a ride along in Tucson with the Tucson Police Department. JLR showed up to the airport to confront Nerdy, and as he did it, he was recording the whole thing, and it was also caught on the cameras in the airport. Well, JLR ended up catching a disturbing the peace charge because he would not leave Nerdy alone.
But exactly. And didn't he actually, I mean, under I don't want to say it met the penal code, but if you have an issue with someone and you're like, they're going to be pulling in here, let me pull in there to meet them, doesn't that almost constitute what he says it absolutely constitute and articulates the very same thing he says everyone else is doing to him.
Yeah,
right?
he said, but here's the crazy part was, you know, he saw a tweet that Nerdy was going to fly in, but Nerdy doesn't say when he's coming or nothing. And then JLR goes there to confront Nerdy, but JLR tries to make it sound like Nerdy was the one confronting him. Well, here's the thing. Nerdy flew into the airport. He had to get his bags and get out of there. But JLR goes there. He had no business being there. None.
He didn't catch a flight. He didn't just land. He drove there specifically to have a public confrontation. And that's the thing that I find so weak. It's like, bro, if you have the stones, if you want to be identified as a tough guy, how about this? How about a bunch of us raise some money for a boxing match between, I don't know, Dolly Talk and JLR, or Chad and JLR? Like, let's not do all this tough guy stuff and then not throw any punches, right? Because this is only tough guy stuff in front of a bunch of, no offense, ladies, but this is his ideal of what tough guy stuff is in front of women. And he's carrying this Alex guy in tow, and that completes the package, right? Like, no one's gonna mess with JLR if he's got this guy nodding out everywhere, if he's got him with him. Well, Alex and this other Ted guy, the Adderall guy, I call him the guy that's melting, right? He looks like he's melting.
Right.
As soon as these two don't serve their purpose for JLR, they're out of there.
Yeah.
They're gone. Yeah. This isn't a foreverdom. They are wandering around like they're married to this guy. As soon as they don't serve a purpose, you don't see them no more, period. And then they just dwindle off into nothingness, right?
And then,
so,
you know, JLR he uses people. They have a purpose. And then once that purpose is done, he drops them like a bad habit and goes on to the next thing. And then he goes to Texas. I guarantee you, he's going to find somebody else there. He's going to latch onto them and use them because he needs another security guard, unless he took Alex with him, which I don't know. I haven't heard if Alex is going or not, but
let me tell you this really quick. Collin County is near and dear to my heart. Okay. I live about 40 minutes away from Collin County, where the Carmelo Anthony situation is taking place. I know a lot of people in that very place, and I'll tell you what, they run a different ship there, and that, in fact, the courtroom where it's all taking place is very near and dear to my heart. And so I can tell you this: they are not going to put up with any of this buffoonery. I
tweeted this out, but you know what I've tweeted out? He is not going to be welcomed in Texas like he has been welcomed in Tucson. Not that he's been welcomed, but in Arizona, they're a bunch of weenies. These neighbors can't tell him, hey, get the fuck out of here. In Texas, they're going to tell him, get the fuck out of here. This guy's going to learn real quick, real fast that you don't fuck around in Texas. And I guarantee you, he's not going to be there long.
No, he's not. He doesn't come to sit in the proceedings. He likes to be able to record and do all this other weird stuff. It's not going to be none of that going on. And they're only allowing 60 people per day into the observation room. a certain percentage of that 60 is family for either side. So it leaves standing room only to a degree. And I can tell you this right now, they are not going to put up with any buffoonery from him in that courthouse, period. And in fact, it would behoove anyone to call ahead and make sure potentially, right, that this thing is already, this is a pressure cooker for Texas right now, right? You've got a young black man who's on trial for premeditated murder of a white boy, a white man, and that there's a jury of 12. There's no ethnic people on the jury. It's on the streets here. It's a pressure cooker. This dude thinks he's going to come here and intermingle into the politics here. And let me tell you what, Texas just isn't going to have it. The judicial system here, like, they're not playing games here. You're not going to find a judge or a bailiff or a lawyer that's going to care about his YouTube channel and want to tell him anything, right? It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So that's my opinion because of yeah, no,
LR will try to go in the courthouse anyway because he wants to live stream. Everywhere he go, he wants to he'll sit outside. And like I said, when he's not, that crowd is not going to tolerate him. They're not. I mean,
there could be, don't get me wrong, there could be a few people that look at his screen and say, oh my goodness, he's got 10,000 people watching him right now. There will be some people that find that attractive. I'm not going to lie. That's how he gets away with it now. They're like, oh my gosh, he's got 10,000 people watching. I want to, I want to have my voice heard there, or let me send him a pizza or whatever. Texas is different, homie. Texas, they want this Carmelo Anthony situation to be done with and done with cleanly. They don't want any issues stemming later on from, this is not going to be an Alex Murdaugh type situation. This is a one and done. You understand me? So yeah, it's a pressure cooker. And, I guarantee you that the fine people in Collin County, they're not going to want to deal with that. They really aren't. They're not going to want to deal with any of this. So that's what it is. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to add in closing, Chad?
No, man, I really appreciate you having me on. Let me tell my story. I want to say thank you to everybody that was here. And yeah, it was a stressful ordeal while it was happening. Now that it's over, my life's back to normal and I'm myself again. But yeah, I really don't have anything else to say about it, I guess.
Okay.
I do want to advocate for his victims from now on because he's going to have more. I'm not going to be his last one. While he's out in the public running around, I'm not going to be his last victim. And if it happens to you, get a hold of me because I can tell you how to deal with this. I'm going to do a stream sometime about how you handle, being doxxed and going into court and having to deal with this stuff. How do you deal with this? But yeah, so check my channel out. It's Picasso Chad, and don't forget at Real Picasso Chad on Twitter.
Yeah, let's can somebody grab those links for me, one of the mods, please? And I will I'll put your X I'll put your X link in the description of the video. Again, moving forward from here, I think that's a very it's a position of reverence, right? For you to be able to navigate through this, keeping your eyes on the prize, but also looking out for other people that may fall into this trap, and that you could be useful to them, right?
Absolutely.
You can.
Well, I can tell you, I've talked to Dolly. A little bit. Dolly, he's going through he's where I was over a month ago. That's where he is right now. He got accused of crimes, man. Dolly, and I watch Dolly. He's on Hella's show every day. I watch that every night. Dolly is like the last person you would ever, he wouldn't pull the wings off a fly, man. and to accuse him of crimes like that is ridiculous. Just it's and you know, it's very stressful for him. So anyway, I offered some support to Dolly. So,
and hopefully, if he needs it, he'll reach out. You know, there's definitely a limit to what the logical minded side of this community or these communities what will tolerate, right? The rest are either people that are, you know, want to FAFO, right? If you FA, you're gonna find out, and it doesn't have to be that way, right? So I totally advocate for you to be a useful instrument to anyone else moving forward, and that I guess to anyone that's here in the chat that also is keeping a watchful eye on the other platforms. If you see someone who is being jammed up like Chad or Dolly or whomever, reach out to me, or reach out to me and I'll reach out to Chad, or reach out to Chad yourself and say, hey, you need to get in contact with this person. This person could certainly use some assistance, right? Yeah. And let's help keep this thing running on the road, right?
I just have one last thing I want to say, and I've been a strong advocate for Magnolia because, you know, backing up to my story, when I was looking into Magnolia, I've been hashtagging her and supporting and been a strong advocate of this. And that's another reason why he came after me, was because of that. And in the paperwork, when he listed my tweets, do you know what he left out of that tweet?
Tell me.
Yeah, my hashtags at the end. Hashtag Justice for Magnolia. He didn't put it in the paperwork.
He don't want a judge out of county that doesn't know a lot about what he's got going on. It's like, well, what are all these Justice for Magnolia tags? What is that all about? He doesn't want to have to say, well, hey, hashtag Magnolia, that's my ex-girlfriend, and there's some pretty stiff allegations again. No, he wants to become and be seen clean. And playing the devil's advocate, I get it. I would want that too for myself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he left that out. That's why in that highlighted paperwork, I had to write it in there just to remind myself that it was supposed to be in there. And I left it off some other ones. But yeah, he left that out of the court paperwork.
And it's a design. It's a design.
Yeah, it's all by design. It's because he wants to tailor things to his audience. He wants to tell a story the way he wants it to be told, not the way it actually happened, but he wants to tailor it in his own way to make himself look good. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, but he doesn't want the truth out there. The biggest thing about JLR, he doesn't want the truth out there, and he will do anything he can to stop it.
Yeah. You know, one of the things, I don't know who's saying it is, but they say that if you write a book, you can rewrite history, right?
Yes. Yep.
Right. And I think that isn't he a 2-time author? Or I know he's at least a 1-time author. Yeah. So we are in the age of internet. This is not the analog move the antenna on top of the tube TV. You can't change history anymore, right? And I think that there's still people that believe that, you know, if you say what you want the people to believe enough times, that that's the way they'll remember it. And that's not the way it works. So
yep.
I thank you for joining me, Mr. Chad. You're always welcome on my channel. We do some true crime, but a majority of what we do now is we cover the true crime bad actors. We are a satirical true crime channel, and we like to bring the real, right? There's a lot of people out there that don't want to tell you the truth, and we ain't afraid to tell you the truth. You hear me?
I would love to come back and be a part of that, because I never planned on being a YouTuber, but because of this, he's given me publicity. And I'm going to use publicity as a good thing and to tell the truth. So I think the true crime community needs that.
Desperately. Yeah, you gotta shine when it's time. You hear me?
Right. And I would
Yeah.
love to come back, Benny. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I will definitely keep you in mind. Periodically when things pop up, I'll shoot you an email or a text and say, hey man, you know anything about this? If you want to join the conversation. I typically, the ladies will tell you, and the gentlemen, I usually run this thing solo, and I hadn't been as consistent in the past couple of months as I should have been. I am definitely picking up the pace. So, with that being said, any kind of conversation you want to jump into, if you got a conversation over at your place, we'll bring the ladies and gentlemen over to your place.
Beautiful.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I'll let you get on with it. I know you got a busy week going ahead. Man, enjoy the rest of your weekend. You've earned it.
And remember, folks, that's what winning looks like.
That's what winning looks like. That was a good title, wasn't it, Chad?
That was damn good, man. I like
damn
it.
good. Damn good. That's what winning looks like.
At the end there, while you're gonna go out the door here, that's what winning looks like.
That's what winning looks like. Thank you for joining us, Chad.
Brother.
All right. Have a great night.
See ya.
Bye-bye. All right. That's what winning looks like. I guess we've got, what do we got here? You want to close it out with another couple of minutes of this stuff here? I'm kind of tickled in a way because let me pull this up really quick just to give you a little context, right? Not JLR. White Boy posted this on his community tab yesterday, and it's called The Daily Dish. Said, where's grandma? Local man launches desperate search, but only talks about boobs and his dick. Let's go ahead and let's finish up with a little of this. Y'all know I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Man, look here. Don't get caught. Hey, don't fall for no sucker shit. You hear me? Whole bunch of this is sucker shit. Don't fall for no sucker shit. I love y'all. Peace. Actually, we lost audio. Let me go ahead so that you guys can enjoy the bubbly feeling with me. Hold on. And in addition, I just want to say, I'm not to be played with. You hear me? I'm not going to be played with. Y'all have.
Hey, women love titties.
Coming from the guy who literally has JLR and 10 in his vehicle.
Hey, listen to me, bro. I'm giving you this. Listen, motherfucker. Hey, I don't give a fuck, bro. Listen, you told me to get on the bed.
You talking over me and you talking loud, it's not going to work. You're fake, lame.
You invited me, bro. You invited me. Say something. With substance.
So why are you yelling at the neighbors? What gives you the point to yell at the neighbors? You know, make a rap song up because I can't. You're a pussy. You're a straight pussy. Look at your friends. Look at your friends in court putting protection orders on men. You're a pussy.
Okay, is that what you want to call me? Hey, you can call me that. You know what? You would never say that to me.
The sheriff has literally cleared those people. Who are you to harass them? Who are you to sit there and harass when they've been cleared by the sheriffs? You're doing that. You're doing that for exactly why you're doing it. That's exactly what you're doing.
They're not letting me give you a fucking answer, you fucking inbred.
Listen. Go back to why you treat the neighbors like dog shit who are questioning why you're in their community. So you answer that with cussing them out.
Are you asking me a question and answering it yourself? Or what? What did you invite me for?
Answer
the question. Hey, how about this, motherfucker? Come see me, bro. No one's scared of your ass. You fucking heels have ears, punk ass bitch. Bro, see ya. Hey, you are a pussy, bro. You'll never get married.
Oh, he dropped off.
Rage quit.
Steaming hot.
Rage quit.
By and just tells him to leave. And this is his reaction.
Hey, Beth, good to see you, baby.
I'm not going to get out of here. What are you going to do if I don't get out of here, bud? I didn't think so. Keep it walking. Keep on walking, yellow shirt. Keep going. Get out of here, bro. You don't own this street right here. You think you do, but you don't. So keep on walking.
Think about the other people that live around here, though, man.
Oh, I'm worried about Nancy, not about you, asshole. Get out of here.
Just asking to be respectful.
That's not what you said a minute ago, asshole. You can't change it now. You told me to.
Mind you, that was his daughter with him, and you heard how he has to say because he's not done.
Wow.
Why don't you worry about the neighbors? Fuck the neighbors. Shit. I'm worried about Nancy.
Did you hear that? He don't give a fuck about the neighbors. And you know what else he said about the neighbors? This.
nice neighbors around here, but these are the ones that make me feel uncomfortable.
They
out here.
make him uncomfortable? Bitch, what do you think you're doing? How do you think you make them feel?
Hello?
Yes, hello. I was hoping to speak with Mrs. Sue Ellen. My name is Alex. I'm calling from the network.
What network?
From the network. We were hoping we could ask you questions about the Nancy Guthrie case.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not even one question. Grab a bitch.
Mouth breather.
She wasn't drunk yet. You could tell. What network?
This dude ain't never been popular or important in his whole life. You dig? Wow. You're welcome, Sherry. Hey, I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. I'm gone.